so yeah, we'll just go to the regularly scheduled jokes. Well, it's been said before by me and other comics that they keep some things around on Facebook because they have jokes to write. That's still true for me. There's this one Facebook group that hasn't yielded much in terms of friendships, but it has yielded jokes. Most recently, there was a posting that spoke about building an ideal man for $5. And my comment about that was asking, what, only $5? And then I know some of the comments before it, like one woman saying she would just keep the $5 and buy ice cream with it. And it's like, well, with only $5, I'd probably do the same thing, because as a man, I feel like I'm worth a lot more than that. Doesn't buy you that much in this day and age, people. There's probably even more on Facebook that I think of. Well, I know there was one group that I joined recently called "This Is Why I'm Single," and it's because a fellow comic had joined it. I know that's why it was suggested as a group to join. And I know the one where I put a comment on was a line from a favorite movie. And mine was, "You're sitting on a winning lottery ticket." Nobody has responded yet. But yes, that is Good Will Hunting, for those who remember that movie. Prompted me to leave Iowa for suburban Chicago, and I'll come back to that where I talked about that this weekend. Oh, right. Well, knows the banking place that means tales from the bank, like tales from the crypt. Usually it's news the weird when I talk about what's at the bank, and I guess one of these two would be. The first one would be. I mean, I still can't believe how much fighting and arguing I have to do just to get some of the supplies I need to get my work done. I have to call in Eva app. That's the name of the app where I just send an instant message and then I'm communicating with somebody eventually. I guess it's the latest form of artificial intelligence that our employer has, and I just eventually say, no, it's not helpful, get me an actual agent. And then I have to tell them, this is a toner cartridge that I need because I print thousands of checks for the bank every day. And yet they still want to ask a lot of questions, asking like I didn't need it, like, what's the level right now? It's like, we go through them quick. And then my boss had to get involved just for me to get it sent. And not know it too soon. Day after it arrived, I had to swap it out. Yeah, that's cutting it a little too close. Oh, and then the one that really isn't weird, more fun than anything else, aside from, I marked 5 years of service with the bank, and I figured I'd get a pin, I'd get something for that. Nope. So I guess I have to take whatever they do offer, and most recently that was a free ticket in the company suite or skybox at the Lynx basketball game. Yay! That was hard to turn down. Not only the free ticket to the game, but also free food and drink. They had beer. I had some beer. They had plenty of food. I sampled a little bit of everything, but of course at my age eventually I said I'm done because like a teacher said in high school, I'm not going to grow any taller, I'm only going to grow out. Yeah, I definitely did partake because that's what they want you to do. The only thing was, the game wasn't much of a contest. The Lynx are good. Didn't know they were that good, doubling the score in their opponent at halftime and won by 23. But what are you going to do? You just never know what you're going to get when you go to a sporting event. Well, I do try to avoid activities on weeknights because I can be tired afterward because, hey, I'm no spring chicken. But this past Wednesday, I actually was double booked after work, but I guess I didn't mind it a little because the first event was just blocks away from my workplace, and that made it a little easier to get there. I'm a member of the Loft Literary Center, and sometimes they have member, or now they call us Friends of the Loft, and I think it's pronounced fête or fête, which is the French word for holiday. They do have periodic events where they celebrate us members or friends, and it's like, all right, yeah, they've got snack food there, I'll have that. And they had an open mic for reading poetry, so I did that too. And I do recently written poetry, and the one I did was called Sorry I'm Broken, which was inspired by a sign I saw on a seat at a movie theater. I had just seen that Jane Austen movie a little over a week ago, and that was the sign I saw at St. Anthony, Maine, and it's like, yeah, I've got to get a picture of that, and it's like, can that apply to my life? Yeah, because artists are broken, it feeds their art, as the daughter of Joan Rivers said. Accurate observation. And then it just became an ode, love letter to performing. Yeah, that's not too much of a stretch there, because I've done it before, like on Facebook postings. I've been given so much by performing, it gave me a voice, so why not talk about that whenever I can? Ugh. And then the other event was a movie at the Triathlon. I'm still surprised at myself that it's become such a popular movie theater for me. I've said that in some ways it takes the place of me paying for cable TV every month or streaming services. Because just like with Redbox, which is not an option anymore, I pay for it only when I use it. So what's not to like? Monthly membership fee, might not use it enough. So yeah, Triathlon works. Might go once a month, twice a month, might skip a month, but yeah, I can justify that. Yeah. And then, oh yes, back to that part about Good Will Hunting. Called my dad this weekend because it was Dad's Day and his 80th birthday is coming up. And then he said that he wouldn't have the nerve, the courage to do what I did, was leave Iowa for suburban Chicago with a U-Haul before I even found a job. And I said, I had to do it, and I mentioned one of the reasons being Good Will Hunting. I wanted to move on before somebody gave me that same speech about how you don't belong here. Well, that'll do it for me. They've all been great.